Atoms are the building blocks of all matter. Everything on Earth is made up of just 100 or so different types of atoms. Atoms themselves are made up of even smaller particles called protons, neutrons, and electrons. All protons are positively charged, while all electrons are negatively charged. The positive charge on the protons is the same strength as the negative charge on the electrons. Neutrons don't have any charge. They're said to be neutral. The number of protons in the nucleus of the atom defines the type of atom that it is. For example, all lithium atoms in a sample of lithium metal have 3 positively charged protons. They also have 3 negatively charged electrons, and so overall every atom is neutral, or in other words, it has an overall charge of 0. Most lithium atoms also have 4 neutrons. The atoms of nonmetals can bond covalently by attracting each other's electrons until their outer shells are full. Groups of atoms which are joined by covalent bonds are called molecules, and they can be represented by electron dot diagrams or by structural diagrams. However, at about the same time that covalent bonding was discovered, experiments revealed that atoms can also form what are called ionic bonds with each other. And it's ionic bonding that we'll be looking at in this episode. By the way, positively charged ions are called cations, while negatively charged ions are called anions. Working out the chemical formulas of ionic compounds is fairly easy, as long as you know the charges on the ions. Let's look at sodium oxide, the light grey stuff that forms when sodium reacts with oxygen. If a sodium atom and an oxygen atom collide, the oxygen atom pulls an electron away from the sodium atom, which becomes an Na+ ion. However, the oxygen atom still has only 7 outer shell electrons. It then pulls another electron away from another sodium atom, and it becomes an O2- ion. Because they are charged, the Na+ ions bond to the O2- ion. This arrangement is stable because all the ions have 8 electrons in their outer shells, and the total amount of positive charge is equal to the total amount of negative charge. 2 Na single pluses makes 2 pluses, and 1 O2- makes 2 minuses. The formula for sodium oxide is therefore Na2O. When ionic compounds form, the charge on the positive ions has to exactly balance the charge on the negative ions, so the ratio of positive ions to negative ions is determined by the charge on each ion. However, as I said earlier, the ions don't join up in small groups or molecules, but rather in a continuous 3D lattice, something like this. Notice that there are twice as many Na+ ions as there are O2- ions. Now a quick clarification. The charges on ions are always written as superscripts, while the number of atoms present in a compound is always written as a subscript. You never write the charges on the ions when you write the formula, just the atomic symbols. Most chemical formulas of ionic compounds are fairly simple, just like this one. By the way, in air, oxygen atoms actually come in pairs, so the chemical reaction is a little more complicated.